I like that. That's cool. I was curious because I'm from the Philly area, so whenever I have like Philly area guests, we talk about cheesesteaks. But for you, I had to get out the Hitch hamburgers. As you've toured, you guys have, you've been around a long time. You've seen a lot of different stuff throughout the world. I'm curious if as you've ventured to different communities in different places, do you find there's any kind of values from the place that you grew up that are with you to this day, or maybe influence you, Paul? That maybe you notice aren't in places elsewhere, or you think, man, I like going back home because of...
Well, yeah, I mean, I definitely have a small town mentality growing up in one in Georgia, and then, where I live now, I live in Jacksonville, but I live at the beach in Florida, and it's just slow, laid back, probably kind of how it is here. There's that beach lifestyle, and everything slows down a bit, and then you go to your big downtown urban jungle rat race cities, where the traffic's just horrible, and people are rushing around, and everybody's so stressed out and in their suit and tie and going to work. And I don't know that I could do that. I mean, you come to work in your flip-flops.
I know, it's crazy.
You know what I mean? There's something cool about it. And it keeps you young, man. You know what I mean? So if when you don't have that, you don't have time to enjoy life, you kind of miss out on a lot because you're busy doing other things. So.
Yeah, you noticed something there. That's cool. And that's Brandon from Incubus was telling me. That's kind of like keeping novelty in your life, sort of summing up what you just said. Sort of, Wes, same thing. Kansas City. You've ventured all over. Is there anything that made you who you are, that makes you like like signposts along the way in the kind of person that you are?
Oh, lordy lord. I think the woods, and just getting out in the woods and, building forts and stuff like that. And recently I've just been talking to a friend of mine and going like, man, I really liked it back in the day when and a lot of people are going to think I'm weird for saying this, but it's like there was no cell phones. Like your mom would like leave a little note or something by the answering machine, and you could like go ride your bike around or something, go in the woods and shoot bottle rockets off, or like go build some forts or something, or go hunting or something like that. And it just seemed
simpler.
Yeah, it was simpler, and it was cool because I mean, it's like, my phone shuts off for like one day. I mean, I get like hate text messages from people, and it's just so weird, It's like, my mom just used to leave like a little note, by the answering machine. But, that's cool. Just growing up on the lake and just swimming and just being able to get away from everything and just kind of like just rehearsing and practicing and just being able to just not have to worry about all the
constant connectedness.
Yeah, man, the connection of communication is just so fast paced now. It's just really mind boggling, and it's like I'm not trying to hurt anybody's feelings, Hey man, I dropped my phone accidentally,
give me a day off
somewhere. I didn't mean to do it, but it's like, hey man, it's like, you're a jerk, why don't you like texting me back? And it's like, hey man, like back in the day, it's like, I was just playing in the woods or something, or I was at school. And, I'd call whoever back and say, hey, what's going on? But nobody was mad at each other, but now everybody gets mad at you.
I like that, longing for the simplicity. There's something in that, dude.
That happens to me all the time, man,
I can imagine, like, there's so many people who want your time now. It must get a little overbearing. It's like a time consumer.
He doesn't do that. I mean,
Paul, you're good with him?
A lot. Broke his phone again.
I can appreciate that, but like on the other hand, I sit down and like, how did we ever
live without this
anything? You know what I mean? I think like, how did people tour back in the day when like you had to stop and do all your connections at like a phone booth at a truck stop or something and call your manager and find out what you got to do tomorrow, and there's no email, you don't have an email of all the interviews you have to do tomorrow and this and that. You got to like actually call somebody on a payphone. It's just like, how did the touring industry?
What about like the Pony Express, man? Like
Telegraph.
I mean,
Smoke signals.
A letter, and like some dude would get on a horse, going, I don't know, who knows where the dude was going, but he'd drop off some mail, and then like, we can get out, I mean.
And how did we live without signing on to Facebook every day and hearing what your friend had for breakfast?
Right.
I mean, you know what I mean?
Eating stuff.
The most mindless commentary.
Or how ugly the cashier was at the grocery store. It's important information for you to get.
I don't care, man. Really. I went to 7-Eleven. I got a Slurpee. I was on my bike, and I came home, and I saw that, my brother had called and left a message, said, hey, give me a call and talk to you. I mean, it's like,
On the flip side of that all,
yeah.
all the success has enabled you to probably, both of you, enjoy more stuff in your life. And of those things that, by having a success of Puddle of Mud, what are some of the finer material things, like a bigger house, maybe an expensive car, that you're most grateful for that your lifestyle has provided you?
Well, a lot of people say money can't buy you love, and it doesn't really. I mean, it does give you a little bit more of a comfortable cushion. It's, I guess you can take care of your family a little bit, a lot better and stuff.
That's a nice thing to include them up front that much. So you think in that way, almost first and foremost?
I mean, it's really, really nice to be able to provide for your family, for the craft that you have, that you learn how to do, and that really is heartfelt, and you feel very good about that inside. And it's, I don't know what the word is. It's like, you just feel like becoming successful in this business is, a pain in the rear. We're fortunate enough to have had that happen, and it's nice to be able to provide, some nice things for your family. And then the downside of that whole thing is like, people take advantage of you, and it's really sad to see it happen. And fortunately, if you're smart enough to catch it, you can just kind of get it out of your life. But the whole thing is just like being able to like take care of your family, and all the people that you really love in your life, and all your friends, and keep everybody like really close to you that really like cares about you a lot. That's the best thing.
What a good thing that you would bring them even closer when you have that to share with them. It's a very heartfelt answer, and a different one than maybe a lot of people would expect to hear from you. And that's one of the reasons I wanted to ask it of you. The same with you, Paul. Are there things that like you're really grateful for that this career has been able to give you, or maybe they're the same things as Wes?
Yeah, I mean, it's just a comfort. It's kind of like we were talking about earlier. It's like life is such a rat race, and you can get caught up in it and miss your life. And our job allows us to kind of slow down, and I don't necessarily worry about money on a daily basis. I mean, obviously, I want to continue to keep putting out records and be able to do this for a living, but it's every day I'm not worried about where my next meal is coming from, and it allows a certain level of comfort, and we're very lucky with that. I mean, obviously we got to travel a lot and do all that, but it could be so much worse, and just be miserable. We get to do what we love for a living, and we get to do it every night. So
do you feel like you guys have to sort of plot a course to make sure that you can maintain what you've got? Meaning, like, you want to deliver a product that is going to continue to provide, that it's what kids want. Do you ever feel like what you're making is evolving to the point where it's not fit for Puddle of Mud and maybe it would be something else?
You really can't. I don't think you can think about that too much. I think you just have to do what's on your mind and what's in your heart, and feel what you're doing. I mean, otherwise go hire a bunch of award-winning, amazing songwriters to write your songs for you and get number one hit singles. That's not what we do. We write what we write, and if people dig it, they dig it, and if not, then they don't.
A lot of number one hit singles, dude.
I'm just saying we don't sit down and go. We don't sit down and go, this is going to be a number one hit single. Somebody like, Desmond Child or, writers like that sit down at the piano and go, okay, this is going to be a hit single. This is how you do it. Copy, paste, da-da-da-da-da. We don't do that. We just make music. And, luckily, like he said, we have had a bunch of number one hit singles, but it's not really our intention. Yeah, it's great. It's awesome. I'm glad that we have, but we don't sit down with that intention.
And I just, as a final note, because I know you got to go work, I think on that thing that we're talking about, there's something so magical in a band that can make a video like Spaceship that's so funny, so raunchy, rocking, cool that you can kick back and groove to. But at the same time, that same band can do something like Blurry, which you can have mean a lot to you, whether it's something that you've gone through with divorce, maybe it's something you've gone through with kids, maybe you don't have a kid, and it was like I told you when I watched you and your son in that video, it made me think, wow, that's something I'll never really have. It's so touching to watch you guys together. Is it meaningful to you that your music can cross that many realms, I guess, or would you rather just be a partying dude like you are? It's kind of like it goes against the partying thing, the other side of you.
Well, it's not. Everything's not about partying and everything. It's just, we're out here. Of course, we're having fun being, successful musicians and, successful songwriters. But it's not. We are having fun, but. At the end of the day, man, we're just really just normal, heartfelt guys trying to write some cool songs, and we sit down and we really, we stay up late at night and sit down with acoustic guitars and we sing until we basically just keel over our guitars, and it does mean a lot to us, and there's things in our lives that mean, the world to us, like my son, and Paul's like, one of my best friends in the world, and a lot of people in my life are just like super close to me, and I can write about them, and it's just that's an outlet, and it's just it's not meaningless, and it's really cool to be able to have people around you that care about you, that you can vent and kind of write really magical stuff about, that have touched your life, in a great way. It's really touching and magical.
Well, we're lucky as fans, and thanks for being willing to share these stories with me, and it's cool to be able to touch on this stuff with you. You really, like I said, you've made songs that can really mean a lot to someone like Blurry. You made songs that people can really rock out to and have a lot of fun with, and that's cool. You can cover the bases like that. You're a diverse artist. That's why I wanted to touch base with you and just let you know we appreciate it, and thank you very much for taking a few minutes for me.
Thank you very much, man. We appreciate you guys, man. Thanks for all the fans. We love you guys.